In this section, I will be looking at functions, commonly referred to as the in-out machine. The activity I have chosen is called Guess My Rule. I found this on the New South Wales Department of Education and Training website. One student is chosen to make up a rule for their in-out machine. The other students ask them questions, such as what do I get if I put in the number 2? The student who has made up the rule answers these questions, and then time is given for the students to record the information and analyse it before the next question is asked. Students continue to ask questions and record and analyse their data until somebody can correctly identify the rule. The learning objective for this activity is for students to create patterns, sequences and functions and describe the rules they use to create these, and then express these in general terms. Students also develop an understanding of functions and how the change in one variable affects the other variable. In this activity, our two variables are the input number and the output number. Students learn how the change in one variable will then change the other variable. Also, this activity allows students to calculate the nth result without needing to list all the previous results. These learning objectives link directly to the odd cells, specifically those under the strand of patterns and algebra. Continue and create sequences involving whole numbers, fractions and decimals. Describe the rule used to create the sequence. Introduce the concept of variables as a way of representing numbers using letters. And create algebraic expressions and evaluate them by substituting in a given value for each variable. Before this activity is implemented, teachers need to be confident that their students are proficient at the 4 operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and that their students have an understanding of patterns and can create and continue growing patterns. Variations of this activity are recommended by numerous experts in the field of teaching mathematics in the primary school. So let's have a look at a few reasons why this is such an exemplary learning activity. This activity promotes higher order thinking, as students need to actually think about the problem and decide which method of investigation makes sense to them. This is in line with the principles of learning and teaching as outlined by the Department of Early Education and Child Development. Part 4.5 says, the teacher uses strategies to develop investigating and problem-solving skills. This activity lends itself to teachers asking questions that encourage higher order thinking, such as, why do you think that? How did you work that out? Does it work for the other results we have been given? Do we have enough data? Do we need to ask the results given when other numbers are put in the machine? These types of questions prompt students to think not just about the problem, but also about their own thinking processes. Teachers can also scaffold the children learning by asking questions that extend the student, such as, can this be put into general terms? Can this be written as an equation? This is the type of questioning recommended in the 12 scaffolding practices for effective numeracy teachers by the Department of Education and Early Childhood Development. Another aspect that makes this an exemplary learning activity is that it can be undertaken by students at various ability levels. For instance, one student may use the guess, check and adjust method. This involves the student guessing the rule that may work for the first set of numbers, and then checking whether this rule works for the other numbers. If it doesn't, they then adjust their guess and make a new guess, and continue until they find the rule. Different students will choose different methods depending on their ability levels. This could go right through to simultaneous equations, which isn't mentioned in the odd cells until level 10. Of course, there are many methods in between these two extremes, and students can choose the one that suits them best. This is one of the things that makes this such an ideal activity, that it can be completed at all different levels of ability. There are also numerous ways that the students can present their rules. Some may choose to present it in words, such as you double it, then add 1. Some may choose pictures, as shown here, while others may choose symbols, using either shapes or letters to represent the variables. I would recommend the activity Guess My Rule as an enjoyable and engaging game to extend students' understanding of functions or introduce the topic, as it will appeal to a diverse range of learners and ability levels, whilst allowing teachers to scaffold the students' thinking and learning to meet the individual needs of every student in the class.